And, Manny, look at these sets just rolling in one after another. Our riders have been stoked for the amount of surf that's been coming through every day since we got here at the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico at Middles here in Isabela, Puerto Rico.
It's been insane. No, the swell has been around from the beginning of the event. So the trialists, the women's, the drop-nears, and the men's division have all been pretty blessed with the waves that Mother Nature has been serving up. So Captain Neptune, if you're down there, we thank you, Mother Nature.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, we've had surf every day. This has been unbelievable, and I know a lot of the riders were really stoked yesterday. We had a lay day. Conditions were not prime here at Middles, but elsewhere on the island, there were spots that could be sussed out by locals and the international field, and people scored. I know earlier Ryan Hardy had mentioned he was chasing 8 to 10 foot yesterday on part of the island. You yourself got to do some running around and get out in the water for a little while yesterday.
Oh, yes. We just drove about 20 minutes right down the road, and we found I was with Micah McMullen and Mark Dale from the number 6 crew, and Ralph as well, and we just had a great time on the lay day yesterday. That was the horn. That is the start of heat number 1, round number 3. This is the last round of the 3-round leaderboard system, which means at the end of this round, heat number 8, the top 16 will be determined and will advance on to the man-on-man main event. The bottom 16, I don't know. They're just going to probably go home, eat some rice and beans, and come back and watch the highlights on youtube.com/IBA World Tour. So IBA has an unreal YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. That's where you're going to get the latest and greatest media coming to you from the IBA. So subscribe to IBA World Tour on youtube.com.
Yes, right now out in the water, we have a couple of guys that really need to do well in this heat if they want to make the next round. They're kind of on the bubble. Pierre, Louis Costas, and Jake Stone. There's really about 9 guys that are pretty much already there. All they have to do is, paddle out for their heat, and they can they move on to the top 16. But there are a lot of guys that are on the bubble, and there's a bunch of guys that they're pretty much out of contention to make it to that round of 16 riders, man-on-man heats.
So they could be spoilers out in these heats.
Yes, we've seen it before. Guys that are out of contention go out there and really kill it.
Look at this.
Up and riding, Pierre Louis Costas in the red jersey.
PLC driving off the bottom, big roll through the lip with the wave, with the lip, and looked like he wasn't going to pull it. There was so much power behind that. Look at this, right off the bat.
Right
wave
behind
action.
him, Jake Stone up and riding from Australia. Comes out through the whitewater, driving down the line and not setting up the way he wants, so he's going to kick out and look for another one.
All right, PLC, nice wave right there through the lip roll. Take another look at this wave.
Here you can see PLC dropping down, drives off the bottom, looking for this section, hits it a little late, comes down, manages to get it around. Looked like he was going to get pile-driven by the lip, but manages to come out through the whitewater explosion. And Pierre Louis Costas scored a 6.0. Meanwhile, Jake Stone a 1.0 for his first wave.
Awesome. All right, great start to heat number 1, round number 3. Perfect time to give a shout-out to the sponsors of the event. And they are Ride It Magazine, Pride, Radio Joe, Science, M2010 Foundation, Federation de Surfing Puerto Rico, and yes, Viva Mas. So a big shout out. Those are the lifestyle sponsors, and we do have main sponsors. We're going to be trickling down the list as we go through the heat. So Jackson, your thoughts so far on the event?
The amount of action we've seen out in the water, the swell we've had, this event has been unbelievable. From the start of everything straight through to where we're at right now. I mean, the contest setup has been amazing. The waves have been amazing. And the competition out in the water has been super heated.
We've also had a bunch of things go down as, for instance, a new DK World Champ has been crowned. Damian King is now the 2011 IBA Drop Knee World Tour Champion. So he's stoked. If you missed it, he was online. I mean, he was in the hot seat with me. He was through a heat, got some questions out of him, picked his brain. You can see that later on youtube.com/IBA World Tour. That's going to be pretty awesome to watch if you want to catch up. He might even write a book. That's what we got out of that.
Yes. Also, we've seen some major developments in the Women's World Tour. The top 3 contenders for the world title were all eliminated from competition, which in effect forced the women's world title chase to go on to the final event in the Azores. So, that's a big story. Also in the women's, Natasha Sagardia from Puerto Rico, one of the event organizers, moving on to the semifinals. She's still alive. She's looking to carry the Puerto Rican flag all the way to the winner's podium.
Wow, and she is performing beautifully, and there's a really good chance she can make it to the final. This is her backyard, and the last performances put together by her has been stellar. I mean, she took down some big-name hitters, Nemanja Carvalho and Eunate Aguirre, so she is definitely one to reckon with here at this event in the women's division.
And then also we saw the crowning of the 2011 IBA Latin American champion.
That's right.
Kalani Latanzi from Brazil. And we also have the men's world title still in play, so it's not over. There's still plenty of action to come.
All right, currently out in the water, 25 minutes remaining. PLC in the red jersey. Pierre-Louis Costa, that is, from France in the red. The Australian, Jake Stone, and this guy right here, David Phillips from Hawaii in black. Thomas Rigby will be in yellow.
Dave Phillips driving down the line, getting through that foamy section, looking for something to line up, and not really happening, so he's going to bail on that.
I thought he was actually going to have enough speed to hit that section, but he drove right into the rip current area, and that's where it can get a little bumpy. Look at this, forming in, out the back, 3 guys, looking, yellow, turning around, and here we go. Thomas Rigby, the Australian, dropping in.
Tom Rigby looking to get on the board, drops in, sets his line. Looks like he's stalling to try and get the barrel and not really setting up. So he'll turn around and paddle back to the lineup.
Yes, Thomas Rigby didn't have such the greatest heat last heat, but here he is going for it in the 3rd round. Heat number 1 against fellow Australian Jake Stone, the French phenom Pierre-Louis Costa, and the Hawaiian David Phillips.
Tom Rigby, one of those riders who could potentially play spoiler. He finished 4th in round 1 and 3rd in round 2. He's got a total of 3 points. Even if he wins this heat, he's mathematically eliminated from advancing to that next round, but he still could play the spoiler out here in the water.
It is PLC, Pierre-Louis Costa, in the red jersey, who is still in the title hunt. He's in that Group B, who is right behind Ryan Hardy for that title. And they're within striking distance. PLC can, if everything falls in place, he could be a world champion.
Yes, PLC, he's been in the running for a world title before. He'd like to remain there. There you can see his girlfriend Ruth on the beach taking photos. She travels with him, shoots photos all the time. Great support system for PLC.
It's great to have that kind of training criteria to be able to go back to the drawing board, see what you can do different, and also, you can plan for your next strategy if you advance on. So great to have Ruth on the tour.
There you can see our riders in white and red, PLC and Jake Stone out in the water, watching the waves come in, looking for their next ride to come in.
Okay, Jackson waiting patiently. Again, going back to the drawing board after photos and video, PLC in the red jersey. Wait a second, here he is, up and riding. Pierre-Louis Costa, bottom turning, nice clean line, looking for that section, has a ton of speed. What's he going to do? Big backflip right there. PLC, he can do these things, at the drop of a coin. PLC putting together another nice move right there. So now 6.0, his first wave. Top 2 waves are going to be scored. And look at this. He's taking this all the way to the inside. That is a serious competitor right there, PLC.
A little gamesmanship on that one, taking that one all the way to the inside, working it as much as possible. Here you can see the replay. Driving down the line, maximizing speed, has a nice clean line, sets up, heads up for this, and watch this. Boom, right through the lip, gets the flip over. He can do these like clockwork. I'm convinced PLC could do this in his sleep if he wanted to.
He probably does do them in his sleep. This is the one of the few guys can do that backflip maneuver on any condition, any wave, any size, and it's good to see him doing it right here for everybody watching live on IBARuleTour.com and on RedBull.tv. We appreciate you guys for tuning in here for the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico. We know you guys are
it
watching.
looks like Pierre's going to score 7.25 on that one, Manny.
Wow, he's got a big lead early in the heat. 13.25 is the sum of his two highest scoring waves, and that's what the judges are looking for. Woo! Great heat out in the water. Jeff Marshall from Ocean Current saying, go D-Fields. Andre, we know this is an unreal heat. Thank you for tuning in. Alexandre, Rodrigo, all going for PLC. And Gui, and Bill Williams, we know PLC, big backflip master. D-Fields, the Hawaiian. This guy is definitely somebody to be reckoned with. He comes to us as a wild card, and he has to pick it up right now.
Yeah, Dave Phillips, the 23-year-old Hawaiian, a standout on the U.S. National Tour, getting the wild card for here in Puerto Rico. And we saw him bust that big air reverse earlier in round 2. Wasn't quite able to complete it, but Dave has no qualms about holding back in his heats and going for big maneuvers.
Jake Stone dropping in, live action. Nice bottom turn through the lip roll, and that's all she wrote for Jake Stone. We saw Jake Stone's round 2. Almost perfect heat. He was just absolutely killing it, picking off some great waves, but unfortunately it was Guillermo Tamega who pulled out on top of that heat.
Yeah, for those of you who missed it earlier, Tamega with a 9.0, Jake with a 9.25, great wave exchange. Meanwhile, here's Dave Phillips up and riding.
Big section coming at him, and he knows there's nothing there for him, and that's it. That's all D-Fields could do on that wave. It was one of those waves where the wave, it comes into a section, but the section is turning away from you, so there's no speed, there's no way you can actually do a lip maneuver, and that's what happened to D-Fields.
D-Fields earlier in the fall, back in September, actually did a little hurricane chasing in New Jersey, of all places. We had a solid 8-foot swell courtesy of Hurricane Irene. Dave Phillips and several other Hawaiians, Timmy Hamilton, Dave Hubbard, all flew in just ahead of the storm, and immediately following the storm, scored some seriously heavy swell in New Jersey, of all places.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always good to head over to the Jenks Pro on the USBA National Tour. They always seem to get waves during that event. They've always gotten good waves, and if you ever get a chance to head over and do the Jenks Pro in New Jersey, highly recommended. Great organization from our boy Jason Bitzer.
Yes, Jason Bitzer currently at home in Hawaii. I know he was posting on Facebook last night. He was a little bummed out that he didn't come to Puerto Rico to score this killer swell that all of us here working the event and competing in the event have been privy to. So, quick shout out to Jason. Wish you were here, brother. But in the meantime, we got plenty of people that are here for this event, including the guys we have out in the water. We've got PLC in the lead right now.
I was talking about walking down on the beach and talking to some of the locals, and I've never seen so many cameras and video cameras at any event. There's so many cameras to catch action like this from Jake Stone dropping in.
Jake Stone driving off the bottom, looking to punch through that one, and not really going to happen for him on that one.
All right, so again, now is your chance for your voice to be heard from the IBA. We want you to take the survey on IBAWorldTour.com/survey. That's where you can answer questions on where do you want to see the next World Tour stop to be. And
yeah, just fill out just fill out your opinion. Let your voices be heard. Check off where you think the World Tour should hit in 2012. Drop your information on there, send it out, and you could qualify for the chance to win a signed shirt from here at the Encanto Pro.
A Rashi.
Rashi, yeah, signed by the new Drop Knee World Champion, Damian King from Australia.
I mean, what do you got to lose? You got a rash guard signed by Damian King up for grabs. I mean, all you got to do is fill out the survey, and that'll give us a quick insight on what you guys are after, because that's what it comes down to, the viewer, the fans, and the followers of the IBA World Tour. And it's been a fantastic year, 2011. We've had waves pretty much the entire tour, and these guys have all been busting out, and it's been nonstop action here at the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico. It's nonstop. We got round number 3 underway, heat number 1 out in the water, and this is what it looks like.
right now out in the water. Pierre-Louis Costas has a 6.0 and 7.25. That gives him a combined 13.25 and the lead. He's followed by Jake Stone, who has a 5.75 combined score. Meanwhile, Dave Phillips from Hawaii in the black jersey at 2.1. Tom Rigby with a 1.0. Dave and Tom in combination land if they want to get that top spot. Again, Tom Rigby not going to be able to move out of this heat into the top 16 man-on-man heats, but he could still very much play the spoiler. Plenty of time, just under 16 minutes. We'll have to see what happens. But right now it's the Frenchman, the young Frenchman, Pierre-Louis Costas, firmly in control. And while we have, hey, look at this, Manny. We have something on the outside.
Whoa.
Nice little set rolling in. Looks like all our riders are going to let this one go by as it closes out. Non-stop swell action with this. But while we wait for our riders to grab something else out there, quick plug for the IBA World Tour online store. IBAWorldTour.com. Click on store, or shop, my apologies. And you can snatch up the...
All right, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a little lull in the action right now, and again, the tour has been taking us throughout the world, and all the riders have been enjoying some great waves. But look at this; it could be some action out the back, and yes, it is. It is. D-Fuel's taking a look, but not going for it. There wasn't much lined up for him. So we've been very fortunate enough to go around the world, and I've been very lucky to be able to take part on some of the tours and some of the things that the IBA has been setting up. And we went croc hunting in Mexico, just 25 minutes south of Puerto Escondido. I had my protection ready to go, and it was pretty cool. We actually rolled up and said what we wanted to do, and Alberto, the croc trainer, and we went to go look for some fresh chicken, and we actually crossed over the fence, and this mother of a croc was looking at me and wanted a piece of me, not the chicken. So all of this footage, all of these heats, a ton of unreal documentary will be showcased at the end of the tour from the Snakes and Ladder crew, so you can check out most, if not all, the stuff right now on youtube.com/IBA World Tour.
All right, Manny, I'm back. Sorry about that. I cut out, folks. youtube.com/IBA World Tour for all the latest highlight clips, video coverage from previous heats, and all of our events up to this point. That's the place to get it all.
What do you mean? You left somewhere? Where'd you go? Look at this, out the back. It is Jake Stone in white, dropping in on this one.
Jake Stone driving down the line, looking for that section, punches the roll through the lip. Will he come out through the white water? Doesn't look like it.
No, Jake Stone going big.
Oh, wait,
on the...
there he comes.
Wait a second.
Wow.
How did that happen?
He got lost in the white water, thought he was done, and at the last second he pops out. So he completed that maneuver. I didn't think he was going to make it out. I'm amazed he held on in all that turbulent white water, Manny.
You know how hard it is to hold on to your board when you're just bouncing around in the whitewash? Look at this heavy section, and he goes for it through the lip roll. And right there, you and I both thought he was gone.
Yeah, I thought he was done for. And here you go, 7.0 for Jake Stone on that last wave. Powering through the lip on that closeout section and maintaining control, bouncing through the white water, the turbulence. Anybody who's ever bodyboarded knows that when you get caught in the white water, you get bounced left, right, up, down. You know, it's topsy-turvy in the white water.
And you know what, Jake Stone, he's not the tallest, heaviest guy, so having a light body bodyboarder in that whitewash, just getting tossed around, I don't know how he pulled out in front of that whitewash. Jake Stone, he's on a good one today.
Well, there's a reason why he's currently ranked 12th on the World Tour and in pretty good position to remain on the Grand Slam Series for 2012.
Yes, he's looking good right now, but he wants to make a strong showing here as the wind just escaping through his fingers at Reunion Island as the Basque bodyboarder Alex Uranga took the win away from Jake Stone. So Jake Stone saw how close he can get to winning the champion or winning an event. He's going to try to do it here again.
All right, so with a little over 11 minutes remaining, again out in the water, we have PLC in the lead with a combined score of 13.25 out of 20. Jake Stone with an 11.75, closing the gap. Needs a 6.26 or better to move forward. Dave Phillips currently in the third position. Tom Rigby in fourth. Dave Phillips and Tom Rigby pretty much comboed by both these guys right now.
Look at this. Rigby and PLC. Yellow jersey, Thomas Rigby from Australia. Red jersey, Pierre Louis Costa. Look at this. They see the wave now. They paddle over the wave, and now they're getting in position. It is Thomas Rigby trying to look up. None of these guys, it looks like they both looked down the line and they both saw that it was not going to happen. They were just too deep to take off on that wave right there. All right, PLC on the next one decides to take a little chance on this one as he drops in. The sun is trying to come out as it shines onto PLC's wave, and that's all she wrote. PLC on that wave, nothing serving it up. But he is holding that first place standing pretty good right now with a 6.0 and a 7.25, 13.25. Riders Jake Stone, Dave Phillips, Thomas Rigby, where are they at?
Right now, Jake Stone in second spot. He has a combined 11.75. Meanwhile, up and riding Tom Rigby with a 1.0, looking for a better score. Kind of roller coasters up to the pocket, gets a quick little cover up. And that's really going to be about all she wrote. That'll replace that first wave score. Actually, that's his secondary score. So he'll have a 1.0 and whatever the judges award him on this one. Here's a quick replay of Tom Rigby on that last wave.
Well, he bottom turned off of this wave, and as he was going up, I thought he was going to kick out of the wave, but as he was going up, he hits a wind chop or little chop right there, and he sets up for this little tight pocket ride up high on the wave, and I didn't see that coming, but he did. And you know what? It's a wave. He has two waves, 9 minutes remaining, but he does have to dig deep now because Jake Stone in second, Pierre Louis Costa, they're pretty much unreachable right now. But if anybody can do it, Thomas Rigby can do it.
Yes, Thomas Rigby, the young 18-year-old from Australia, really opened up a lot of eyes at the pipeline contest at the beginning of the season, and he's been stout throughout the course of this year.
Thomas Rigby, definitely one to be reckoned with, and I believe we will see him in the top 16 or the top 24 as the newcomers come into play from the Grand Qualifying Series.
Yes, Thomas Rigby firmly planted in that top 8 group in the qualifier series that will be moving up into the Grand Slam Series Men's World Tour next year.
That must feel nice.
This kid has a bright future. He's definitely one to watch.
All right, so Thomas Rigby, and I'm sure the Port Macquarie Bodyboarding Association are tuning in live to make sure one of their own makes it through the leaderboard rounds, the first 3 rounds of the main event. Again, in these first 3 heats, we keep explaining it just so make sure everybody's on the same page, but these first 3 heats that you see your favorite riders in will get points based on their placing in their heats. First place 6, second place 4 points, third place 2 points, and fourth place 1 point. At the end of 3 rounds, at the end of 3 heats, those points will be added. Top 16 will advance on to man-on-man main event rounds, and that's going to be exciting.
Yes, definitely. As Manny was talking about with the leaderboard rounds, the accumulation of points, key essential to making it to the top 16. We've already seen it come into play for the leaderboard rounds. Here in the third round, just underway with the third round. I'll continue that thought in a moment. Dave Phillips up and riding. Dave driving down the line, looking for a section, drops down a little bit, looking to project. Hits a section, gets a nice.
Whoa!
Wow! This is one of Dave Phillips' new maneuvers he's been working on.
This is what happens when all the guys from the Hawaiian Islands get together and go out and have fun in their free surf sessions. They start innovating. And David Phillips right there doing an invert. Let's take another look right now. I thought the wave was done. I thought it was not going to happen for him. But David Phillips puts together a pretty cool move at the end of this wave. And I would love to see it performed, on a clean, nice open face wave. But here he is trying to attempt it in the rip current area where it's a little bit bumpy, a little bit frothy. But here he goes for an invert, and halfway down on his landing, he goes for a reverse roll on the way down. He almost pulled it off. Unbelievable move right there from the very innovative Hawaiian David Phillips.
We've been talking about new maneuvers and the evolution of bodyboarding and high-end technical stuff. Jake Stone with the double roll. We've seen the inverse, which is a combination invert to air reverse. And there you saw Dave Phillips going for an invert to reverse roll.
That was pretty cool to watch. And there are other guys that are doing these kind of moves too. David Hubbard, he's trying to, you know what? David Hubbard, D-Phils are coming to us from the same family of bodyboarders, and it's cool to see what these guys have up their sleeves.
Yeah, you've got riders like Dave Phillips, Dave Hubbard, Jacob Romero, all pushing the boundaries of what's possible coming from Hawaii. Then again, Jake Stone from Australia working with former world champ Eppo to develop new moves. Here up and riding in red, Pierre Louis Costas. Pierre driving down the line looking for a section and not to his liking, so he's out of there.
Well, he's still okay, even though he didn't get much on that wave. Look at this nice stall on the takeoff. Thomas Rigby finds a section and positions himself perfectly after that bottom turn for that roll. And that's it. Nice little cover-up. And Thomas Rigby, nice clean wave. That'll get rid of his lowest scoring wave, which is a 1.0. But great bottom turn right there. Skills definitely being shown in these conditions out here in round number 3.
Here's a replay. You can see Riggers going up, hits the roll, lands in the pocket, gets the quick little cover-up. The timing and the connecting of moves on that was essential. The way he drove up, hit the roll, where he landed to set up that quick little cover-up. Nice little wave there for Tom Rigby. He'll get a 4.5 for his efforts on that one.
Once again, welcome everybody to the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico here on the beaches of Isabela, Puerto Rico, and it is paradise here. Unbelievable, the enchanted island.
Yes, we are coming to you from Middles in Isabela, the northwestern region of Puerto Rico. My name is Steve Action Jackson. With me, my main man, Manny Vargas. And we are bringing you the action live as it happens out in the water. We are in the first heat of round 3 of the leaderboard segment.
We have another 4 hours of action, so, I mean, that's a lot of time and a lot of good action. You don't want to miss anything, but we know some of you have to work and cannot hide your monitor from your boss for too long, so we are uploading video clips to youtube.com/IBA World Tour. That's where you can see all the heats go down. Here we are, David Phillips dropping in, comes around the section, goes through the lip, nice roll right there, and continues on over this little bump right there on the inside and pulls into a closeout on the inside. D-Phils with a average scoring wave, but he needs something.
Yes, right now Dave Phillips currently sitting in the 4th position in combination situation. Dave Phillips, another one of those riders that unfortunately he's finished.
Oh, wait, we got action right there. Thomas Rigby, lucky that for us there was nothing there for him because we came onto that wave a little late, but whoa, a little inside on the inside, but it's all good. Not much there for Thomas Rigby. And PLC, not much out there.
Yeah, right now out in the water, it's pretty much all or nothing for our riders. Pierre Louis Costas and Jake Stone looking to advance to the man-on-man heat portion of our main event. Meanwhile, Tom Rigby and Dave Phillips both pretty much out of contention. Rigby with a 4th and a 3rd in his first 2 leaderboard rounds. Unfortunately for Dave Phillips, he's a very progressive, very explosive rider, but he's finished 4th in his first 2 heats, and right now he sits in 4th in this 3rd and final part of the leaderboard.
Whew. Wow, man. Tons of action. I'm getting a little winded here behind camera 1 over here, or camera 6. What camera are we?
There you can see the current standings out in the water right now. Round 3, Heat 1, Pierre Louis Costas in the driver's seat, but Jake Stone not far behind in that 2nd spot, looking to maximize the points accumulated.
Wow, look at this ramp right here, setting up for Jake Stone. Big ramp, big left. What's he going to do? Boom! Nice, perfect air reverse,
big
360 from Jake Stone. Wow, that was textbook right there, fully covering some ground and some height on that. Jake Stone, perfect air reverse spin on that wave.
Yeah, Jake really going for it on that one. Got some nice elevation on that play. Driving down the line, eyeing up the section, boom, hits it perfectly, gets good rotation, clean landing in the white water, out in front of the wave, comes out clean.
Wow, Jake Stone, nice wave right there. PLC was right on the inside of him, but priority was to Jake Stone above PLC, so Pierre could not drop in on that wave and call Jake Stone off. We saw Joe Grodzen do that earlier, and I don't know if Joe called him off, but Joe still took off when Castell and Trudel had priority, and Joe had a penalty for that. So PLC knew that could happen to him, so he pulled back, held back, no reason to drop in on Jake Stone.
Jake Stone 9.0 for the very clean, nearly perfect execution of
Look at this
an
big
reverse.
wave out the back. Sorry to interrupt. Thomas Rigby in yellow. Big wave, big section coming at him. Little bumpy. What's he going to do? Oh, the wheels fell apart on Thomas Rigby on that one. Woo.
Tom Rigby in the yellow jersey having a little trouble getting into a rhythm out there in this heat. Going for the air reverse off that big end section, not quite able to hold onto his board. Meanwhile, PLC up and riding.
All right, PLC coming to that inside section, and not much there for him. And he knows that's the end of the heat, so he just cars and catches a wave in. He's going to be okay with that second place finish. So PLC, he is now on the leaderboard, situated.
PLC currently going into round 3, situated in 13th. It looks like he will improve his position with his second place finish. That secures a spot in the top 16 and man-on-man competition.
All right, so Jake Stone winning that heat with a combined total 2 top scoring waves of 16 points. So there you have it. Jake Stone in first, PLC in second, Thomas Rigby in third, David Phillips in fourth place. That is the end of round number 3's heat number 1.